Ringo is a small abstract game composed entirely of 2 sets of wooden discs and 2 sets of metal rings in 2 colors, blue and red, of course, and the components are pretty nice, All right, abstract game in which you're trying to place 4 of your discs or 4 of your rings in a straight line, which can be horizontal, vertical, or diagonal. So it's sort of like Connect 4, but without the gravity constraints and with a couple of extra twists here. Players will alternate taking turns, and when it is your turn, you must do 2 things. First, you place one of your discs inside one of the rings. The color doesn't matter. But suppose I decide to do that. Boom. After you do that, you remove that ring that you just used and you place it next to another ring. It cannot just be next to a disc, so that would not be okay. And it cannot be just next to another ring diagonally. It has to be next to another metal ring orthogonally. And so, for example, I decide to do that. That's it. Place a disc, move the corresponding ring, and say, for example, then red goes, and they decide to do that. That seems to be allowed. Then this player goes, and they decide to go there, and they place this one here. The game is over when a player... The game is over when a player, again, has 4 discs or 4 rings in a row. So as red, I definitely want to break this insanity here. That's not good for me. Meanwhile, I'm also trying to create my own set. So I'm going to do maybe something like that. And now blue goes again. And blue is like, ooh, but I have... had an opportunity with the rings. Maybe I can create an opportunity with the discs instead. And red is really on the defensive here. Red, you got to start building your own combos instead of just reacting. That's no way of winning. But blue is on fire. Blue places one there. Oh, see, blue would like to do that. Wouldn't that be nice? But it's not next to a metal ring. So what's blue gonna do? Blue places it there. Red goes, and the competition is on, my friends. We're on fire here. And so that's how the game goes. That's how the game goes until a player has 4 in a row in any directions. Oh, red is trying to be a bit devious there. I know what you're trying to do there. And we're going to react to that. That's the game. So you continue until a player has 4 rings or 4 discs in a row in any of the 3 directions. Again, very similar to Connect 4, with of course the extra limitation of the roll of the rings, which is pretty neat. The rules say, again, you're going to win with 4 discs or 4 rings. It's not likely that, I mean, maybe the first time we played it, I was able to win with the 4 rings. But after a while, people realize that just the rings, there are fewer of them, and they literally are shinier, and they stand up more on the table. So it's a lot easier to keep an eye on them. So victory through the rings is not likely, but what is very interesting is that you still have to keep an eye on them, because then it'll be super embarrassing if you lose because of that. So other than maybe once, every victory that I've seen was based on the discs. And when it comes to the strategy there, then it becomes a little more similar to Connect 4 in that, if blue is going to try to place something there, red is kind of likely to see that and to block that. And so some tricky things that you do in Connect 4 as well, such as instead of placing 3 in a row, maybe you do it that way and you hope that the opponent doesn't see that one, or that still is 3 in a row. The missing one is in the middle of the sequence, or you create 2 sets of 3 that's at the same time, so that the opponent can block one but not the other. Some of the strategy still applies, but the fact that some areas get pretty much sealed out of the game, that is particularly important as well, such as, for example, the fact that if that ring is moved for any reason, well, we cannot place rings here anymore because they're not adjacent to other rings. And so you can seal off certain areas of the board entirely, usually where the opponent has some good sets there. And right now, for example, blue could potentially place here because it's next to that ring, but not extend this set anymore. As the board literally moves around and it evolves that way, if it gets to the point where you don't have any discs left, then you start picking up discs, but that doesn't happen very often. But as the board moves, there's more to think about, more to grok, more to digest. So the game is Connect 4 variant, but I don't think it's going to be as easily solvable as Connect 4. Matter of fact, one of the biggest difference for me is that I haven't lost a game of Connect 4 since 1991. I'm pretty much unbeatable at that game. But I have lost some games of this one. I would say it's probably around 50-50. I played with my teenager, 14-year-old kid, who is freaking smart, so there is that. But I don't think I lost many games against them. I don't know. What did I play Connect 4 with? Anyways, I don't lose Connect 4. I lose this one, but not terribly, like half and half. So it's a nice, interesting challenge to me. It looks great in its elegant simplicity. It's an abstract that travels well. You don't know exactly how much space it's gonna take or where it's gonna end up being, but it's never gonna take too much space. It's simple, it's elegant, and it's nice and fun to play. Like Connect 4, it can be a bit anticlimactic if it ends with the opponent not seeing a certain set, but again, once players know what you're doing, you're building up to those sets right there. You're trying to prevent the opponent from winning. I guess blue's gonna win this way. Boom, and that works. Actually, again, very rare in real life, but I was moving things kind of randomly to show you the game. Ringo, if you are tired of Connect 4 and you're looking for something very portable, very elegant in its minimalistic simplicity with some interesting twists and strategies that emerge over time, then Ringo would be a good option for you.